Avengers Assemble is the confused middle child of the Marvel animated project, the Marvel animated universe for Disney XD. First, it was announced that you can look at it as a sequel to Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. But the problem is, and I'm gonna critique it a lot based on that first statement, because it was made by the showrunner who started this universe and worked on portions of Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which is completely unrelated to the Marvel XD, Disney XD Marvel project. Sure, Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes was in that era, but it was a solo project. It was a solo show, and I don't mean the hero is solo. It was not connected to any animated universe. Season 2 of Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes ran concurrently with the first season of Ultimate Spider-Man, or parts of it did. So the showrunner decided, let's make this show, this Avengers cartoon, part of the Ultimate Spider-Man canon. But the work done by Chris Yost and his company made the show completely unrelated, because Peter Parker in Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes works in the Daily Bugle. He's both a photographer and works on the web. And we see Jonah Jameson himself. He's not on the TV. And when we see Spider-Man, he's dignified. He doesn't make immature juvenile jokes. I mean, he does say a few things that make him sound immature, but not to the juvenile level of showing his tongue or continuously, mercilessly, pointlessly mocking one of his teammates. He doesn't have teammates or a party of other heroes his age. And prior to introducing Spider-Man in the second season of Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, we saw Luke Cage and Iron Fist. And these two, they're actually adults in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, while Spider-Man is a teenager. Now in Ultimate Spider-Man, Power Man and Iron Fist, or Danny Rand and Luke Cage, are not heroes for hire. Like Spider-Man, our S.H.I.E.L.D. trainees go to high school with Peter Parker, with Nova, Sam Alexander, and White Tiger, Eva Ayala. And J. Jonah Jameson is on TV in this Ultimate Spider-Man stuff. So this is where confusion starts, because Drake Bell was cast to voice Peter Parker in the Avengers cartoon, Earth's Mightiest Heroes cartoon, to declare that they are in the same continuity. And in Season 2 of Ultimate Spider-Man, they show the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they have the same design as they did in Avengers Assemble, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. They had the helmet and the jackets Chris Pratt and crew wore in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. At least the jackets. I think Star-Lord didn't wear the helmet in Guardians Movie 3. Anyway. In Season 3, it takes place after the event of Spider-Man Crossing Dimensions. And the event of Spider-Man Crossing Dimensions was concurrently with Avengers Assemble Season 2, which is the second appearance of the Guardians of the Galaxy in Avengers Assemble. Their first appearance was in Season 1 of Avengers Assemble, and they had the same design they have in Ultimate Spider-Man. When they reappear in Season 2, they have their movie counterpart design and a new voice cast, or at least Star-Lord was recast. And then, after the Spider-Man Dimensions, which was concurrent with the Widow's Run episode in Season 2 of Avengers Assemble, we see consistency with the design of the Guardians of the Galaxy and their voice cast and Ultimate Spider-Man between Season 1 and between Season 2 and Season 3. They don't look like they did in Season 2 of Avengers Assemble, when it's in the same continuity. And then in Season 5, it is shown that Peter Parker in the Avengers Assemble show is the same one from the 2017 Marvel Spider-Man show. Anyway, Spider-Man's stuff is confusing. Each Spider-Man show is its separate own identity. It has its own identity. But when they're connected with the Avengers, this is when chaos starts. I'm not gonna talk about the other shows, like Hulk Agents of Smash, because it will start a different wormhole. And Guardians of the Galaxy, because I'm still not in the mood to watch it. Now going to the main cast of Avengers Assemble, we have the main team of Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow, Hulk, Thor, and Hawkeye. But there's one problem. Black Widow wasn't really that integral to the team in Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and this is proposed as a continuation of that. So what's going on? Your guess is as good as any. I'm not gonna delve into detail, but in Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Falcon is a seasoned soldier. He's an adult, and he's Falcon suit. When he's introduced in Avengers Assemble, he's a SHIELD liaison. He doesn't scare anyone. He doesn't give the impression that he's scary. He wears the Falcon suit for the very first time. So if this is a continuation, how is he the first? How is he donning the Falcon suit for the first time? And Tony Stark made it for him. And Tony Stark is actually unpleasant. He's a moron. In Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, he's actually a decent character. In this one, there's one episode when he announces his formula for success. Tony's team keep telling him, we're falling, we're failing. And Tony persists that they're succeeding. And Red Skull, who stole Iron Man's armor in the first episode, suddenly decides he has a heart problem. And Iron Man doesn't check this out. Why, I don't know, but he doesn't check it out. He doesn't question it when this thing, the arc reactor, is supposed to pull shrapnels away from Tony's heart. Red Skull doesn't have that. He just stole the armor and without the helmet, he broke it, and the arc reactor to energize it. So why does he complain about his heart problem? I forgot something about Falcon. He's a medic, he's a professional technologist, and he's 17. You know who else is like this? Rebecca Chambers. Yeah, from the original Resident Evil. But she's 18, and her mechanic specialty isn't as deep or as remarkable as Falcon's in this show. He can do a lot of stuff. He's Tony Stark advanced level. When Spider-Man, who's one of the smartest characters, maybe one of the 10 smartest characters, has a brain meltdown when he hears Tony Stark explaining things. And he's about the same age as Falcon. So what's going on? I don't know. Captain America is fine. He's kind of similar to how he is in the first cartoon, in the good show. Hawkeye and Hulk. They're good friends in Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. They're a good team. They have a good dynamic. They're funny. In Avengers Assemble, they bicker over food and they're very childish. And for some reason, Hulk has glass figurines he loves so much. And he doesn't talk about these in the prior show. So what's the point? How's this connected? I don't know. And why is Hulk part of the Avengers? It's actually because Spider-Man succeeded in making him smart indirectly. It's because he helped him when Mesmero brain switched them in Ultimate Spider-Man. But in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, they don't have that connection. So that's extra confusing. And when you look at Thor, he's dignified. He acts prince-like. He's responsible when he returns to Asgard, when he returns to his home, when he goes to see his father. You can feel the regality in him and his father. In this one, in the childish show, both are childish. What's going on? Why is this? Why are they childish? And this also involves these characters, how they're displayed. In Earth's Mightiest Heroes, they committed to a few threads like Gamma World and characters' immunity, like Thor being immune to gamma radiation in that show. And for some reason, Thor becomes a Hulk in Avengers Assemble and Hulked Out Heroes. So it's a retread of that thread, and it shows different abilities and different personality. There's a plot thread about Steve Rogers teaching Tony Stark how to handle things with his mind and his body without relying too much on technology. In the first show, Tony learns and he acts. In this show, Tony stays arrogant, Steve acts, and Tony barely learns. They have to teach him this lesson again in another episode. And then let's talk about Carol Danvers. When she's introduced in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, she's dignified. She's part of the group. She acts like one of their sisters. Like, I don't know, she doesn't feel estranged or something. She's modest, humble, and good qualities. She doesn't overpower or overshadow anyone. When introduced in Avengers Assemble, she's cocky, brash, overqualified, can do advanced mechanics, advanced engineering with a flick of her hand, a flick of few fingers, and she's easily captured by bubble gum thing from Crimson Widow. And when she takes Crimson Widow to prison, she doesn't frisk her or take her arms off or her weapons off. What kind of prison care is that? She's super advanced, super smart, at the same time incompetent and super dumb. And she bickers with Black Panther on who should lead the team because she's a captain and he's a king. And let's go to Black Panther now. He's a humble, modest, caring guy who is a good king and is a good friend in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. In Avengers Assemble, he's untrusting, he's childish, he's immature, he keeps bickering. I don't know what else to say. Oh yeah, and in one episode, in the first episode of season 5, Tony calls him a friend and T'Challa shrugs it off. He's not trusting. He says, we work together, but we're not friends. What is my favorite color? What is T'Challa's favorite color? This is a question that doesn't get answered for an entire season, and this is the longest running comic book show that is not a Ninja Turtles property. It ran for more episodes than Ultimate Spider-Man, which is 104 episodes. More episodes than Batman the Animated Series, including the new Batman Animated Adventures, which altogether is 109 episodes and 3 movies. And let's cover some of the villains' plots. Baron Zemo. This one is Helmut. He leads the Thunderbolts, and then he's suddenly redeemed. And then he goes to Wakanda, where he finds a crown and becomes a monster. And he's cured by the crown being removed from him and thrown away. And he's imprisoned in Wakanda. Next, he's home, in his home. Suddenly, he's nice again. And then he doesn't learn from his past mistake. And he takes another weapon because it's his right. And he's out of control again. Zemo is an idiot. And Claw. Yeah, Claw is kind of part of Zemo's plan. You see him as Andy Serkis. Yeah, he got Andy Serkis designed for some reason. But this is part of the same continuity as Ultimate Spider-Man, and he starts there with classic comics design. So why does he look like movie synergy guy here? So Avengers Assemble has a confused identity when it comes to the presentation. There are things like Spectacular Spider-Man that are elegant when representing this stuff, when mixing ideas from movies and comics. And then there's stuff like this. It's a mess. It's a chaos. It's chaos. And since we're talking about Season 5, let's talk about Killmonger's plan. He likes T'Chaka, T'Challa's father, who was the king of Wakanda and who never started a war. In one episode, Killmonger tells T'Challa, your father was a good king, but you were a spoiled child because you don't start wars. Look, you just said T'Chaka doesn't start wars, didn't start wars, and you complimented him for that. Why do you want to start war? And he was the ambassador, and Killmonger was the teacher of the children of T'Chaka, T'Challa and Shuri, and he was their instructor, their teacher, and he was also an ambassador to Atlantis once peace treaty happened. But no, he wants a war, and he causes chaos. Because stuff like this happens. And he knows about stuff nobody knows about, like the crown that was hidden in space, away in a space station, in a Wakanda space station, that has history of some of T'Challa's ancestors. One of them is a great aunt nobody knew about. She wasn't chronicled in history, in Wakandan history. There's no reason to know about her, but suddenly everybody in Wakanda knows about her, including Killmonger, who knows about her, and she accepts him for some reason, and he accepts her, and he was imprisoned but freed by her, and she knows T'Challa because he wore the crown of royal history, and Killmonger knows everything because he doesn't know everything, but he knows everything, but he needs everything, but he uses everyone to help. This plot doesn't make sense. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I have no idea. Nobody has any idea. I don't think the writers have any idea, or the bright idea, or the clear idea of what's going on. Things just happen for the sake of them happening. These are convoluted plans that are just convoluted. Sheesh. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm gonna compliment a video game story for using this stuff of backup plans for his backup plans. Doc Ock in the Marvel Spider-Man video game has better motivation when he's using backup plans for his backup plans. Luring Spider-Man into a trap so he can blow him up, but Adrian Toomes is prepared in case of Spider-Man surviving so he can weaken him. This actually makes sense. And this is from a video game. Video game plots generally make no sense because stuff like Doc Ock, he's a geriatric paraplegic guy who's losing control of his limbs and can control metallic limbs attached to his central nervous system, and he goes to a prison and causes chaos unnoticed and causes an outbreak, and that plot makes more sense than a cartoon which is supposed to be story focused. I should try to be done. Look, I'm gonna be clear. I'm not saying this to tell I'm not saying all this stuff to tell you to avoid watching the show. One of my favorite shows is Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. That show has a dog that wears a karate shirt and a black belt and is afraid of a dinosaur dolly, and the same dog can escape a cage, and the same dog knows how to spell cats, so she's used to find... Well, actually, dog sniffing is actually not a bad thing. It's actually realistic. And Spider-Man and Iceman can't catch up to a guy who just disguises and runs away from them when Spider-Man has webs and can run faster than cars. And so when I review this, in reviewing this show, I'm not telling you, if you like it, that you shouldn't like it because it has bad writing. I'm just venting out here. I'm just telling you, this writing is bad. Okay, I'm just saying it's bad. I did have fun with some of the other shows attached to this. I did have fun watching this show. Okay, admittedly, I did have fun watching Avengers Assemble. It's a goofy show that has some interesting adventures and has some good ideas, like with Thanos using Thor's hammer and knowing what this guy records, what Watcher records, and I'm not gonna cover Ultron. That's another chaos. That's another chaos spring. I'm not gonna touch it. Or maybe I will. I'd rather not. What do you think of this messy of a show?
You are not worthy. If I can't hit you with the hammer, then I'll hit the hammer with you!